Look, my father was imprisoned and tortured in Cuba. I hate communists. It was actually Batista that tortured my dad.
Shane. A-L-A-N Allen. A-L-A-N Allen. Allen.
Hey, episode 58 of the 38th Parallel. And before we get started, just want to say that after this episode, the show will be on a little bit of a break, a little bit of a hiatus. I have it on good authority that we will probably be on break for about 5 years. So hopefully World War III will not happen in between that time, or global warming, whichever one comes first, you know. Also, one more thing before I invite my awesome guest here, awesome co-host. I just got my guitar check in the mail, so that's pretty cool. It was a pretty good lump of money. I was surprised. I was like, damn, guitars really getting that cake. They're really getting that in. But also, ironic enough, Israel also got me a check. Hey, I think they're trying to compete on what my opinion is going to be on the foreign policy, you know? So I'm not going to disclose the amount, but let's just say I am fucking rich now. What do you think about that?
Then you could hire someone else to do the pre-show production.
Yeah, I know.
Then
yeah. So
just a little something I whipped up, you know.
Yeah. So before we went live here, I got something from Twitter, right? And I want to see like, where is this person at? I don't know if I have it on there, but I got it from Twitter, and it was the clip that you saw in the intro, and I had recorded and was going to play it, but it didn't look good. So Alan, being gracious enough, let me do it. Let a professional handle this. And lo and behold, it worked out great. So Alan to the rescue once again.
Ooh, nobody gives a shit.
Yeah. Trying to be nice. I'm trying to say some nice stuff. Come on.
Yeah. Well, you know, I'm distracted because the way your hair is right now is that it's sitting on top of your eyebrow. Well, now it's on both your eyebrows.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but if I have any hair on the top of my head touch anywhere around here, I just start murdering children. I can't stand it. I can't stand to have that little poke. And I don't know how you're even living with yourself right now.
I guess I'm used to it. I don't know. But yeah.
I mean my hair goes down to like halfway down my back. But
if I try to do that, let me see what that
yeah.
See. Yeah.
It didn't work, yeah.
No, I have a little thing here. It looks like a yeah.
Somehow you look more Asian than you did at the start of the show. Is that weird?
Yeah, a little bit.
We got to start doing polls in chat. Chat, does Shane look more Asian than when the show started?
I'm going to put it right in the middle. There you go.
So what's the deal? Maybe you can answer this for me.
What's the deal?
What's the deal with when the characters in the shows have like the one strand of hair that's like right in the top of the middle of their head, like sticking up like that? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
What's the deal with that? What does that mean?
I don't know. I know you're talking about. There are some characters like that, but you know how they always have like some weird ass hairstyle. You know, they always have like the pointed hair or whatever. I mean,
well, I've seen like it's a trend that I've seen all over the place where they'll just have hair, but then they'll just have this one strand of hair sticking up like a single curl sticking
yeah,
up like that, almost like an antenna. Like what? So what does that mean? What's the artistic interpretation of that?
I'm sure there's an easy answer for that, but I don't know. I don't have it off the top of my head. Like, I'm not the anime expert that you perceive me to be.
But
So,
you're Asian.
well, yeah, good point. But yeah, I don't.
I mean, look,
know.
if you ever have any white people questions, I'm here for you. But I feel like you're letting me down.
White people questions. Wow. Is it true that white people have a distinct smell?
No.
Okay, well, there you go. There you go.
I mean, I feel like white people are basically like vanilla. It's just the neutral, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Smell like vanilla.
I know some people on some of my social media mutuals are they talk about how things with scents are poisonous. So like
Oh,
you see things talking about how like use this detergent and it makes your clothes smell like this, or
yeah.
use this air freshener and it makes your house smell like this. Is that if something is clean, it's not supposed to smell like anything. If it smells like something, that means there's chemical in it and that's bad for you. So
But it smells like lavender, so.
yeah, but that's bad. You're just breathing
Oh,
poison. It's not like because it's not lavender, it's
yeah.
some poison that smells like lavender that they've injected. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know you're saying it's like
'Cause
natural flavors in drinks, and you go, oh,
yeah,
it's beaver
yeah,
ass.
exactly. The same kind of people that are into the health food thing that would be
Yeah.
like you see all like they put uranium in your Apple Jacks and that's why
Uranium.
it's green or whatever.
Is that where
Those-
Iran's getting it from?
Yeah, and so yeah, Apple Jacks. And so those same people are be like, yeah, you don't want a bunch of fragrances because fragrances are just like cancer.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So we try and avoid that, all the fragrances and
yeah.
so.
So all that's to say is that I don't think white people have a smell. I think they're going to smell like whatever it is that they've put on.
Yeah.
Like
Especially old
I
people.
guess because I remember one time back when I ran my printing business, I used to have this old lady that would come in and she would be like, "Oh, I love your cologne. It smells so good." Okay, I don't wear cologne. So what is it? Like, was she having a stroke or because what was it that she was smelling? Because I don't
Was her upper lip?
know.
Oh.
I mean, I wear deodorant, but
Yeah.
like deodorant has a smell, but I don't feel like it's something that's so pungent that you just see someone walking by and you smell deodorant,
Right.
because I think that's like isn't the whole point of deodorant is to do the opposite of that, is to block smell rather than to
Yeah. And we had mentioned this before on the show too, where I had said that Koreans don't have a smell. They have some kind of genetic disorder where they don't have a armpit smell, like that BO smell. That so if you're gonna look for deodorant there, good luck finding some.
I'm willing to bet that like you can find it.
Yeah, maybe. It's just not, you go to a convenience store, it's probably not there. But again, I've never been to Korea, so what do I know?
According to Google, it's not just Koreans. It's many Koreans, but not all, plus many other East Asian populations.
Well, there you go.
And apparently that body odor is actually bacteria on the skin breaking down compounds in the sweat.
Oh.
So it's kind of like, how they say, like, it's like sometimes people will be like, oh, there's lightning, get out of the pool. It's like, well, actually, water is a terrible conductor of electricity. But the reason why you might want to get out of like your family swimming pool is that you've like the chlorine and the bleach and stuff that's been put in the swimming pool water does conduct the electricity. But if it were just like a natural spring, no, it actually doesn't conduct electricity like that. So so it's like the bacteria on your skin. But apparently you guys have so first of all, you didn't they called it genetic variation. You called it something negative.
Yeah.
What did you say?
Disorder.
Yeah, disorder. Jesus. It's not a disorder. God.
How come you guys have BO?
Yeah. How come you have this good thing? Oh, a disorder.
Yeah.
Yeah, an ABCC11 gene that reduces the activity of the apocrine glands, leading to less production of fatty acids that the bacteria feed on to create body odor.
Whoa.
It also impacts other traits, including earwax type. You have a different type of earwax. So
I must explain why they get so clogged up all the time.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It says here, individuals with this variation typically have dry, flaky earwax, whereas those without it tend to have wet earwax. Do you have dry, flaky earwax?
You heard it here first. Yes, I do.
So it is a disorder then.
Yeah, there you
it's
go.
Not.
I was not wrong.
I'm sorry. I was being ableist.
Yeah,
about your disorder.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
my mistake, everyone. But apparently, cultural practices also contribute to reduced body odor in Korea. For example, daily bathing. Who the fuck doesn't daily bathe? It's not unique to Korea. What the fuck?
Daily bathing. Yeah.
Emphasis on personal hygiene. Okay, yeah, white people do that too. Not the other ones, but yeah, they say that like, oh, hey, you guys, in Korea they bathe daily. Like
they don't skip a day.
I can't believe that you guys like, do y'all have like baths and showers like in your own house? That's crazy. Wow. Well, I've learned a lot about this particular subject. This is what I'm going to do from now on. I'm going to be like that guy on ESPN, the guy that used to host Around the Horn, where he's like the fact checker for
Tone Reality
for PTI. Yeah. So when you say some random thing like that, then I'm going to pull it up and
if we made any mistakes at the end of the show, then you go, actually, Shane, what you said was.
Yeah, I need to have my stack of papers. Yeah. It's like, well, actually, so Shane, in the first hour, you said Koreans don't sell deodorant. I'm gonna now. I've got to check that. I'm gonna type South Korea because I mean, let's be honest, but
I want to visit North Korea someday. That'd be cool. I may not come back, but But hey, yeah, I'm the one that believes. I'm the one that believes American propaganda about North Korea. So what do I know?
Okay, so first of all, this says deodorants are available in South Korea.
Well, there you go.
And here's a picture of a bunch of Korean deodorants. Deodorants can be found in supermarkets, convenience stores, and beauty stores like Olive Young.
Yeah. Yeah, Olive Young. Yeah.
Olive Young. That sounds very English for a South Korean.
Olive, company. Like that was like their American name. I want my name to be Olive when I move to America. Olive.
Well, like because it says major Korean online shopping sites like Coupang.
Mm-hmm.
Like that sounds Asian.
Yeah.
Olive Young doesn't sound Asian to me. Apparently there's something called E-Mart. So y'all don't have Kmart. Y'all have E-Mart.
E-Mart, yep.
Okay. Now I'm going to go down the E-Mart rabbit hole.
And of course, 7-Eleven.
Y'all brought those over with you when you came? 7-Elevens.
Apparently, yeah. They're not as
E-Mart is
good.
South Korea's oldest and largest discount chain store.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
Dang.
I'm talking like, yeah, E-Mart. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, of course. E-Mart. Yeah. I go there all the time. It's my one stop
I went
shop.
to so do y'all here's an interesting question. Where
Yeah.
because you've lived in some different places around the country. Do you
far as I
have
know.
a propensity to go to like Asian markets in whatever place you're in? You know what I'm talking about? Like
Yeah.
at least semi decent sized cities and up will have like this is like there's an Asian supermarket and an Asian, store or an Asian. And I don't mean restaurants. Everyone's got fucking Asian restaurants. But I mean like you go in there and most of the products are like Asian products that have been imported to the grocery store or whatever. Do you go to those places?
Yeah, sometimes I do. Yeah.
What do you go there for that you're like, well, I'm not going to find this at, Publix. I got to go to Olive Young or E-Mart or whatever.
Well, if it's like a local Asian store or whatever, usually go there for snacks. Some Asian snacks,
Well, like what? Walmart's got snacks.
My
You got to be more
favorite.
specific.
Well, I'm getting there.
Okay.
There.
All right.
So my favorite is the shrimp flavored chips. They're very good and shrimp flavored, delicious. See, your face is like shrimp. That sounds terrible, but you try it. It doesn't have like a super shrimpy flavor. Yeah.
But if it's not a super shrimpy flavor, then what flavor chips are you even eating then? Is it like lightly shrimp flavored? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay, but but they're potato chips though.
Well, here, I'm gonna try a.
I mean, you say chips, I assume potato chips, but it could be some other kind of chip.
I'm gonna show this.
Okay.
So so people know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. Let's see. Boom. There you go. Shrimp chips.
Shrimp chips. But first of all, those look like fries.
Yeah, they look like fries, but they're like a chip. So they have that, have the crunch. So
Colby shrimp chips. Prawn crackers are a deep fried snack made from starch and prawn. They're commonly snack food in Southeast Asia. Shrimp. Apparently, they've got them at Walmart here.
Hey, there you go. You can try one.
Hold on. Something I just want to verify because they look. I found a bag that looks like the bag you had.
It looks like the bag.
Looks like the shrimp chips. They're baked wheat puffed snacks. So they're not made of potato then.
No.
Made with whole wild caught shrimp and baked to perfection. So they're shrimp.
It's pretty good. You should try it.
So you're eating some kind of baked. So they've taken shrimp, like actual real shrimp, and ground it up into some kind of something and mixed it in with like some wheat and made like basically like corn puffs.
Mm-hmm.
Like pop cereal, but it's shrimp flavored as opposed to like honey flavored.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
But a selling point to you is that it's not too shrimpy. It's just
it's not too shrimpy. It's not too bad. Yeah, it's good.
I could order these.
You could
have them. It's only $3.22.
Hey, there you go. You can have them by tomorrow.
Apparently, they are legitimately at my Walmart. I could just go get some.
You can go get some, yeah.
Okay, see, all right, now this is misdirection, though, because I had specifically said, what do you go to the Asian supermarket for? And now I found it at Walmart. So now I've got doubts. I feel like you might have fed me misinformation.
Well, another thing we also buy there sometimes would be rice, but of course you can get rice at Walmart or Publix or wherever, right?
Mhm.
But specific brands or just a big old freaking 10, 15-pound bag of rice, probably not going to find that at a Walmart. So, go to the Asian store and get it there. Or teas. Some teas they probably won't have there that they would just have at the Asian store.
A lot of carbs in these
Oh, yeah.
shrimp chips.
Yeah. Not surprising. Yeah.
So
For
I don't
me,
know.
it's a snack where if I was really feeling it, I could probably eat the whole bag.
So we've got shrimp chips that you can get at Walmart,
Yeah.
and then you're saying rice, but a different brand.
Yeah. Or some sauces that you wouldn't be able to get at a Walmart, like a banana ketchup, for example. That would probably be they might have it at Walmart. I don't know, but they could probably have it at the Asian store.
Banana ketchup?
Yeah.
I mean, ketchup has tomatoes in it. So is it banana and tomatoes, or is it just banana paste? What would you?
Banana ketchup, also known as banana sauce in export markets, is a Philippine fruit ketchup condiment made from banana, sugar, vinegar, and spices. Its natural color is brownish yellow, but it is often dyed red to resemble tomato ketchup, saying that pesky dye. Banana ketchup was first produced in the Philippines during World War II due to a wartime shortage of tomatoes, but a comparatively high production of bananas. There you go.
Walmart doesn't have banana ketchup, I don't think, but I did find it on Amazon.
There you
Holy
go.
shit. I'm not paying for that.
What, they got that tariff or something? They got a tariff added on?
I don't know. It's like $30 for a bottle of banana ketchup.
God dang,
Hello?
really? $30?
Well, I don't know. Let me type it into Walmart and see what Walmart says. No, Walmart! Fucking Walmart's got it. You're lying.
Oh.
You're just
There
on
you go.
Walmart.com just reading off Asian looking things. Your Honor, I contend that this man's never been to an Asian supermarket.
Well, you also go to an Asian supermarket or just an Asian grocery store, and they'll have the fish swimming around, or you got the big tank of crab or a lobster, right? I could ask Nico, hey, Nico, what do we get at the Asian grocery store that we wouldn't be able to get at an American grocery store? Certain vegetables.
Rice brands.
I said rice. Yeah, I said rice.
Okay, but we have rice.
Certain snacks. I said that too. I said shrimp chips, and they have it at Walmart. Sauces. Yep. I said banana ketchup. Apparently, they have it at Walmart. Yeah, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They don't have Kewpie mayo. We do get that. We do get Kewpie mayo.
Okay, you've lost me. Please speak English. I don't know what you're saying right now.
When she cooks katsu, which is like a crunchy chicken, right? That uses panko.
Okay, so chicken.
Yeah. Yeah. Chicken,
okay.
Right.
All right. So breaded chicken. Okay. So fried chicken. All right. So when she cooks fried chicken, she gets what? Help me out here.
For the bread, for the breading.
I don't know. Whatever it is that the thing you said
panko.
that I'm about to
PANKO. They have it at Walmart. Like, you're gonna find it there. If you're looking at Walmart, they're gonna have it there.
Okay, then why? Okay, so what do I have to go?
Okay,
to the Asian supermarket.
Okay, what about Kewpie mayo?
Okay, please help me out here. I don't know what that is.
KEWPIE, and then
mayo, like mayonnaise.
Mayo. Yeah.
Okay, so Kewpie mayo.
Yeah.
You realize what I'm about to say, don't you?
They have it at Walmart.
They got it at Walmart.
Hell yeah.
Kewpie mayonnaise, and it even looks like it's in a little Asian package
Yeah.
too. Yeah,
Is there
Kewpie mayo.
Is there anything specific that we buy at their grocery store, an Asian grocery store, that we don't get at an American one? Is there anything whenever we go to the Asian grocery store here?
Made with rice vinegar instead
Is there
of
anything
distilled
that we
vinegar.
buy there that we wouldn't be able to get at like a Walmart or something?
Well, I don't know because Amazon exists now, so everything can pretty much get everything on Amazon.
I guess probably the other main reason we go is just the experience of going there.
Well, the rice.
Well, yeah, I mentioned the
is
rice, but
cheap.
yeah, but you can get rice at Walmart. But
Yeah, but the rice sucks.
good point. The rice does suck at Walmart.
Okay, what's different about the rice that you're getting?
What's different about the rice that we get?
Korean.
It's a Korean brand. It's not like the Great Value, you know. It's a Korean brand, or it comes from Japan.
So far, everything I've searched has been
Yeah.
at Walmart. I'm just
Walmart has everything, so why wouldn't they have it?
I remember
Walmart.
so when one of the last times I was out in East Tennessee, I was in Knoxville, ironically, and I was staying with some people, and they were going to an Asian market, and so I went with them, and it looks like fucking Piggly Wiggly, but it's all
Yeah,
Asian
yeah.
products.
Yeah.
Um,
Was it like an
and-
H Mart or something, or
I
'cause
don't.
that's a Korean grocery store.
Okay.
H Mart. Yeah.
And the only thing I got was some drink. It came in a can, but it was like banana something. It was some kind of banana drink in a can that had those balls in it. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, like a boba.
I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, after I drank the first half, I threw it away because I think if there's balls in your drink, that makes you gay. So I got rid of it. Oh, Jesus.
I like
But-
sucking on them balls.
I didn't realize. I didn't know what you were supposed to do with them. I'm not homosexual, so I didn't know how to handle those, and so I got rid of the drink after I drank the liquid.
Yeah, I like sucking on them tapioca balls.
I don't even know what those. So, but the drink
Yeah.
itself was pretty good. I will see. Okay, I like banana flavored things, and then so
There you go.
okay, I will say one thing that I did order from the internet because I heard people on the internet talking about it, and I was like, well, where can I get this? Is I got banana milk
Oh yeah.
because that just sounded like something I would like.
Yeah.
I was like, I like banana milkshakes, so maybe I'll like banana milk. And so they came in these little like the old school like high C, like the little little square carton, and you stick the little straw on the top. It was a package of those, and I drank like half of them.
Was it like a
Basically.
Milky's?
No, it was like a square cardboard carton.
Yeah, it looked like an apple juice box or something like that. Here, like a little kids. Sometimes
Yeah, but you don't open it up like with a little triangular corner. You stick a
Yeah.
little straw on the top.
Right.
And and I just sat there and drank like half the whole package.
Damn.
And then I felt a little funny. And I was like, okay, well, I won't do that again.
So I was looking up because you said it was in Knoxville. I'm looking up the
Okay.
Asian groceries. Was it Lucky Asian Mart?
That sounds interesting.
Yeah.
So, I don't know what's so
We'll go
lucky
with that
about it.
one. Yeah, let's go with that
Yeah,
one.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go.
I'm just gonna Google banana flavored Asian stuff. And that might be a risky Google, but Korean banana milk is literally the first thing that pops up in the queue here. Yeah, Bingray, Binggrae, banana flavored milk drink. That's what I got.
Okay.
Yeah. Banana flavored drink in a can. I feel like if I saw it, then I would know. Yeah. Oh, there it is. I think I found it. Holy shit. Bubble tea, N-O-T, I-N-O-T-E-A, N-O-T brown sugar bubble tea drink. Black milk tea with boba. You can get that. You can get a pack of 24 of those cans for $92 plus shipping.
Whoa.
So,
Damn.
yeah, I wasn't really interested in all that, but holy guacamole. Yeah, and apparently the banana one's the most expensive one. Why? Why is it whenever I find something, it's got to be that way?
I guess, well, it's expensive to make it, I guess.
It's probably dirt fucking cheap. It's just they think stupid American man, he'll pay this.
I blame the tariff. Let's blame the tariff. Fuck it. Just,
I don't know how big is big of a tariff did he put on South Korea?
I don't know, 50,000%. How big of a tariff did Donald Trump put on South Korea?
25%. That's not.
It's not terrible.
I mean, it's not good, but it's not like the craziest one I saw.
Well,
excuse me, my bad. It did rise from 2.5 to 27. So it's pretty bad.
they moved the decimal point. They moved the decimal point over.
Holy shit.
What did the Koreans do to him?
Yeah, I don't know. Apparently not enough. And so,
then they have a new president now. So there you go.
Yeah, there's some wild shit going on over there.
The last one got impeached. Almost every single South Korean president, something bad happened to them. Impeached, jailed, killed, something. There's like a handful where nothing really happened. But can you imagine if stuff like that happened here, where every single president, something bad happened to them, like after they got out of office or while they're in office, not just Kennedy or McKinley.
I mean, it's difficult to have a peaceful exchange of power in South Korea, but not in North Korea.
Well, that's true. Especially, it's family, so who's the leader.
He got elected.
Yeah. Well, again,
just like Putin.
Again, I believe in the American propaganda and think, yeah, exactly. He won the election, of course.
All right. The jury has reached its verdict, and you have never been to an Asian market. Y'all just go to Walmart, but you don't like the rice.
Guilty as charged.
So
sorry.
You have been
lied.
sentenced. You have been sentenced to Texas.
Texas, great. That's great. I could say something. Yeah.
How's the Asian supermarket situation looking down there? Have y'all scoped it out?
In Texas?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's some there. There's some
You're
there.
going to be able to get your rice?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I would ask you if you're going to be able to get your favorite snack, your shrimp chips, but apparently anyone can get those.
Hell yeah.
At basically any place.
Hell yeah.
Now I know. See, look at that. I told you I was going to send you guys a housewarming party, and now I know what it's going to be. It's going to be a box of shrimp chips.
Hey, if you send that to me and us, hey, that's awesome.
I just have to go to Walmart and pick up some.
Buy a few bags and send them my way. Because I ain't sharing.
Wow.
Looking right when I said that, I'm not sharing.
Yeah.
So, well, I could say something dumb like, well, let's move on to something else. You know,
No, no, no,
something-
no, no, no.
Yeah.
This is my finest work of art.
That's
I've
what
done
I was
it.
saying. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I could move on to something. I mean, look what I titled the episode. Look what I titled it. I don't know if you can see that, but look what I titled it. And
Yeah, dude, I'm going blind. I have to
Yeah.
actually pull it up on this monitor over here to see what you titled it. Tucker Carlson versus Ted Cruz. Mike Lee selling out American land? ?
yeah,
Donald Trump blasts intelligence community over Iran.
yes,
It's not really a title. That's a synopsis, I think.
yeah. I'm taking from. I'm kind of stealing from Tim Pool. I don't know if you've recognized that name, but I actually wanted to wear a beanie because I wanted to be like him. But
You're not going to need
don't know where I
a beanie where you're going. Of course, he doesn't either, but he wears one.
yeah,
Is he going bald? Is that why he wears it?
I believe so. Yeah, no shame in that. No shame. You know,
A little,
do what you got to do.
little shame.
Well,
Yeah, it's a disorder. Going
Wow.
bald. Yeah.
Well,
So I mean it. I mean it. I think you should grow your hair out. I think you should do like the cool samurai thing, like where you have a half ponytail on the top and the bottom hair hangs down, kind of
Yeah.
like some other people I know. You should do that. But yours, of course, yours has got to go down to your fucking waist. It's got to be.
well, I gotta seek permission from my wife because even though I'm a man, I don't make my own decisions. And
Yikes.
so I have to ask her, hey, is it okay if I grow my hair long? And if she says no, I was like, hey, you know, I do what I got to do.
Mhm.
I'm sure a lot of the alpha male, red pill, dissident right people who are maybe listening, being like, you don't make your own decisions. What's wrong with you? That's because I'm an empty shell. And apparently,
Wow.
if you go on Twitter, you see the word grifter every single time I go on my feed. I see the word grifter at least once. So this he's been grifting forever. This person's a grifter. This person's a grifter. I think people only say grifter when they're talking about someone they don't like.
Mhm.
No one's gonna say like, yeah, my good friend here, he's a grifter. No one would say that about someone they like.
What do you think we would do differently if we were grifting?
I don't know. Maybe bet on sports.
Well, grifting is you're just plugging some bullshit, propaganda just to feed some retarded base
Oh.
audience who's going to give you money.
Oh, this is a perfect segue then. I would be, as we saw at the very beginning of this episode, Ted Cruz was telling Tucker Carlson, hey, I don't like communists. My dad was tortured by them. That's not good. So understandable you don't like communists. Fine. That's great. But yeah.
You should make a video then where both of you guys need to dress up like in Red Army uniforms, like get you a couple of North Korean uniforms and wear them. And you need to do a video that is communists for regime change in Iran, and then send it, at Ted Cruz. And then that way he will be off, he'll have to decide. Does he want to side with the communists or side with Israel? Which one?
I think we can do that.
I think that would. Yeah. You know what we ought to do is we should start answering viewer mail questions like we do on It's Too Late. I don't know if you saw this week. We did a show this week for the first time. Kind of.
I saw that. Yeah, I saw that.
And so I knew going in that our viewer mail might get a little spicy because you know how these degenerates are. Like they've been saving up their question, for weeks. Let me give you a short sampling of some of the questions we got.
let me interrupt you because I looked up.
No, I'm not going to let you interrupt me. What is your least favorite religion?
My least favorite
Mm-hmm.
is atheism a religion?
No, it is not. We're
Oh.
not going to play the boomer con game of saying that that's a religion. Wait, hold on. Don't even worry about answering it. I'm just going to lead you a few different questions, and you tell me if you feel like there's a theme in
Okay.
the viewer mail. By the way, I didn't write these. It was different people allegedly wrote these. What's your least favorite religion?
Mm-hmm.
Followed by, if you had a nuclear bomb, would you use it? And if so, where?
Oh.
Followed by, who do you think will drop the first nuke in World War III?
Jeez.
Yeah. You see where this is going.
Yeah.
Followed then by, would you rather be first in line to fight the gorilla or last in line with Bonnie Blue?
Jeez.
I try to do like a PG-13 program, by the way. Oh, that's not even the worst one.
Oh, yeah?
Do you remember the movie Freaky Friday?
I do.
If your mom and your wife magically Freaky Friday'd, and the only way to change them back was to have intercourse with them, which one would you have intercourse with? That was a viewer mail question. You know, most people ask things like, what's your favorite pizza topping? You know. Or
I just like how it goes. Oh, who's gonna drop the first nuke? If you had a nuke, where would you drop it at? If your mom and wife.
yeah. And then like right in the middle of it, there's this totally innocent. Which is your favorite summertime snack? S'mores or watermelon?
Probably watermelon.
Like that's the question you would expect in viewer mail, but what you get, yeah. So just just throwing that out there. I've pushed this thing to 10 till. I think I've run out of steam though.
I think you did a pretty good job. Yeah.
All right. And I didn't even bring up the 49ers. So
I'll bring that team up. Don't you just you wait. Hold on a second. I'm not even joking.
All right. Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
So what I was gonna say when I was trying to rudely interrupt you was I looked up North Korean uniform for sale, and there is a website that has a North Korean female Air Force uniform for $450, but it's sold out. They have another North Korean Navy uniform for a whopping $850.
Wow. I feel like for a lot less than that amount of money, you could just look up a video of them doing their military parades and then just make the costume, rather than buying an authentic one. Just make one. Just make a North Korean uniform.
Could do that, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not very artistic and creative though, so I don't know if I'd be able to. Oh, Etsy, $99. Oh, that's a Soviet.
That would be fine. That would be fine. Dress like I said, Red Army. You two dress up as with a couple of old Soviet uniforms. Do that, and it'll be communists for regime change in Iran.
There you go. Tag them. Be like, hey, Ted.
Yeah.
Saw that you didn't say you didn't like communists. Well, guess what? We're also for regime change in Iran. Perfect. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think that would be good.
So I don't know if you saw, because I know you said you pushed this to we're now going 44 minutes. So now the topic at hand, right?
Mm-hmm.
What were your thoughts on the explosive Ted Cruz and Tucker Carlson debate, interview, whatever it was, discussion, heated discussion, I guess, because the main point was basically Israel and Iran. And of course, oh, wait, here. Let me get this up, actually, so we can watch it together, because that's how we do things around here, since we're on the subject. So Tucker Carlson says, Senator Ted Cruz insists AIPAC is not a foreign, well, his Twitter account, or Tucker Carlson Network, excuse me, said that. So let's watch.
So I've never taken money from the Israel lobby. Have you?
Taken money from the Israel
From AIPAC.
So AIPAC raises a lot of money for me, but it's actually a misnomer because the people who raise money are individuals. So it's not the PAC itself, but they're individual members who believe in the American-Israeli friendship
Is
and
AIPAC
relationship.
a foreign lobby?
No, it's an American lobby. It's the AIPAC stands for the America-Israeli Political Action
What
Committee.
does it lobby for?
So, to be honest, not a whole lot effectively. Listen, I came into Congress 13 years ago with the stated intention of being the leading defender of Israel in the United States Senate.
Great.
And I've worked every day to do that. AIPAC, a lot of times, AIPAC, I wish were much more effective. Like, there are folks online who are in the fever swamp of terrified of AIPAC, and AIPAC.
I'm not terrified of AIPAC at all. You're the one who seems a little uncomfortable when I'm asking.
No, not uncomfortable at all.
I'm just asking what AIPAC does. My understanding, having known a lot of people who work at AIPAC, is that it lobbies on behalf of the Israeli government.
Wrong.
Oh, okay.
It's
when was the last time AIPAC took a position that deviated from Prime Minister Netanyahu?
All the time.
Name one.
Okay. Let me go back and give a little history. If you want to do a deep dive on AIPAC,
I don't. I want to do a shallow dive that gets. No. I want to get to the core question. AIPAC is lobbying for a foreign government, and I don't. It's not. It's lobbying for the United States.
It is lobbying for a strong U.S.-Israeli relationship.
Okay. So it's not has nothing to do with the foreign government.
It wants America and Israel to be closely allied.
Okay, but it's lobbying on behalf of the interests of another country.
So that's not true at all. And if
it's not true.
No.
How much contact do you think AIPAC leaders have with the government of Israel?
No idea. I imagine some. I think the government of Israel is often frustrated with AIPAC because AIPAC's not nearly strong enough.
Do you think there's any coordination between the government of Israel and AIPAC?
Do they talk? Sure. If you're lobbying for more U.S.-Mexico trade, would you talk to people in the U.S. and Mexico and the government? Sure. Like if.
So I'm not mad about that. There are a million countries that lobby Washington. I like a lot of those countries, including Israel.
But AIPAC are Americans. They're not Israelis.
Hold on. There are tons of Americans who lobby on behalf of foreign governments. I know them. I'm related to some of them. I know how it works. I'm from here. So my question is not, is it outrageous that foreign governments lobby the United States? They all do, okay, including Israel. My only question is, why don't we admit that is what's happening? You're denying it, but it's true.
Yeah, and why aren't they? False.
Why aren't they registered as a foreign lobby?
Because they're not.
They're not registered as a foreign lobby because they're not. So, yeah.
That's just so painful to even listen to. Like, Ted Cruz, here's the funny thing about Ted Cruz is that Ted Cruz is probably, in terms of just pure IQ, among the most intelligent members of Congress. He is a very experienced debater. He was like one of the leaders of like Harvard's debate team or club or whatever when he was there. And so there is absolutely no doubt that if you just came up with a topic, you said, we're going to debate, whatever, something as silly as pineapple on pizza or something more complex, like, the safety of drilling oil, domestically.
Sure.
And you could give him either side. You could give him the pro or the con just as a challenge. And he could come up with an argument. Like he could, he would come up with the notes and here's the sources and we're ready to tackle the challenge. But in that room, which I presume was his office,
I think it was,
talking anything to do with Israel and Iran, he's so obviously clueless and so obviously incredibly defensive that, if anything, everyone has all these hot takes of, look at all these, we could sit here and just chop up dozens and dozens of little, 20 or 30-second sound bites from that whole, what was it, like 2.5 hour, hour and a half, however long it was that they sat down. I'm not interested in any of that. I'm interested more in just the open-ended question, which is, why did he even do the interview? Like, Ted Cruz obviously can't intelligently talk about the subject, and also was really uncomfortable discussing the subject. So was it a situation where, Tucker said, we're going to talk about bunny rabbits, and then it ended up being, wasn't it a gotcha? Because I don't think it was. If it was, he could just walked out of the room. He'd have been like, we're not doing this. So it's shocking that it went as long as it did without there being this conversation's over moment, because they talked for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And a huge percentage of that couple of hours was kind of heated back and forth, and Ted Cruz constantly walking it back. And I mean, Tucker Carlson just eviscerated him. But it's not just Tucker Carlson didn't eviscerate Ted Cruz because he knew a lot more about the subject matter than Ted Cruz did, though he does. He eviscerated him because he's just on the right side. That's the funny thing about a lot of these little public debates, especially like these public forum type debates, is it's really easy to win when you're just on the morally correct side, which being pro-Israel or trying to defend AIPAC of all people, you're on the morally incorrect side. It's shocking. Like, I saw the preview clip back on, like, whatever it was, Tuesday. Mm-hmm. Tucker had dropped like a little minute and a half, like, hey, this is coming out tomorrow. And when I saw that, I was like, what's it going to be, like 37 minutes long? And then he walks out of his office. Nope. I'm shocked that it even happened. There's like, can you imagine if you sat there and watched that interview? Have you watched the whole thing start to finish? I haven't watched the whole thing. I've watched big chunks of it. Can you imagine watching how Ted Cruz squirmed? And let's say you're Lindsey Graham. You think Lindsey Graham's going to sit down with Tucker Carlson now? No chance. I'm more shocked and more interested in how it even happened than I am what they said. Because what they said is not surprising. Ted Cruz is fumbling over himself trying to defend evil, and Tucker Carlson's just asking him, why are you defending evil? I mean, that's it. That's the whole show.
Well, you mentioned that Tucker tweeted out a preview and then tweeted out the actual episode. There was a tweet that I saw that I don't know if this person's trolling or not, because it's fucking retarded, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
She said, for what I don't know. Now I understand why Tucker Carlson has been spamming his page with little snippets of his interview with Ted Cruz since yesterday. I watched the full interview. Ted Cruz absolutely demolished Tucker in every possible way. Tucker, like the disingenuous hack that he is, sent out these selectively edited clips in a failed attempt to preemptively establish a narrative. It didn't work. Okay, first of all, spamming his page. You go on Tucker Carlson's Twitter right now. It's still the same fucking tweets. Like, what are you talking about?
So only people who are totally in the tank for evil could possibly have made the statement that person made. It's just that typical thing of you just say a lie enough times until it just becomes accepted. No thinking person with an IQ above room temperature would agree with that statement at all. And also just particularly as it pertains to Tucker Carlson, there's the meat of the subject, which is, we've already discussed. But then there's specifically like the personal attack on Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson is like far and away among the best journalists with the biggest followings, and proven integrity out of journalists that are out there. And he is by definition not a corporate journalist, as Michael Malice would so very much want to eat alive. He's not one of those. He used to be one of those. They got rid of him because he wouldn't toe the corporate line, in which his career has not suffered one iota as a result. So to attack Tucker Carlson as being, like he personally is somehow the reason for some kind of illegitimate stance is just ridiculous. Like,
so that when that guy was saying that Tucker Carlson has been spamming his page with snippets of the internet, Ted Cruz, on the other hand, you go on his Twitter account, boom, bam, boom. Actually, this is why I said Tucker thinks this. Here's another clip of me saying this, and Tucker thinks I'm stupid. Blah, 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 blah. Ted Cruz 2 days ago, as of this recording, tweets out a screenshot of a headline from The Atlantic, which a lot of the pro Ted Cruz and pro Israel people have been sharing, saying it's from Jeffrey Goldberg, Tucker Carlson. Iran deserves to be annihilated. With Ted Cruz saying, wonder what changed.
What's the date?
Oh, the date is February 22nd, 2012. Like 13 years later.
Hot take.
And you know what? Look, maybe he had that opinion then, but now he has a different opinion. People are allowed to change opinions. Now, look, I know there's an argument that, hey, someone can change an argument or their opinion because the money's this way now, or the wind's blowing over here because it's more popular, or whatever the argument is. Fine. But, and I don't know, if someone changed their mind from this to that, that's totally legitimate. That's possible. Someone can have like, oh, they got new information. New information came in their head. But you know what? The old information I had, I don't like it. I think the new information actually trumps what I was thinking of before. Maybe that happened to Tucker Carlson with Iran. I don't know. But let's just go on the whole thing of what changed. What's the problem if he changes his mind? Is it because, oh, well, it's Iran. Obviously, they have a nuclear weapon. They want to destroy the world. Okay. Well, another person who's been going all out on Tucker Carlson is one Mark Levin, who it's funny that he calls himself and other people call him the Great One. Mark Levin, the Great One. Here's some tweets. Here's a tweet from 2023 from Mark Levin. Holocaust denying, Stalin supporting, Castro promoting New York slimes need 6 barely literate writers to slime Tucker. There he is supporting Tucker just 2 years ago? Here's one from 2019. What a sleazy, disgraceful smear job against Tucker Carlson. Millions watch Tucker, who is smart and interesting. But these propagandists try to turn him into something he's not. They're very experienced at character assassination. Oh, now this is from 2011, around the same time frame as the Tucker Carlson Iran deserves to be annihilated article. Mark Levin, excellent piece by Tucker Carlson. What changed, Mark? Is it because he's not so pro-Israel anymore? Is that why you're just all of a sudden, his name is now Chatsworth Carlson? Chatsworth. Yeah. Chatsworth Carlson. Other ones that I've seen people call, James Lindsay called him a name. It's like one of them's going to stick eventually, I'm sure. One more thing. Hold on. One more. This isn't about Tucker, but it's about someone who was supporting someone before and now they're not. Okay. Cat turd. Everybody's favorite cat turd. He said, okay, so Candace Owens is another one that everyone's like, this one's an anti-Semite. She hates Jews. Whatever you feel about Candace Owens, whatever. Cat turd 2 days ago. Never liked her, never will. Because he quotes a tweet from of someone that said, Candace Owens to our troops, get dishonorably discharged instead of following orders that they don't like. And then so on and so forth about that stuff. Okay. That was like the big thing. Oh, what do dishonorably discharged? Whatever. You literally search up cat turd, Candace Owens. Here's a tweet from 2019. Good morning to everyone, especially Candace Owens, who stomped Democrats' asses in her congressional testimony yesterday. Another tweet from 2019. Boom. Candace Owens drops bomb. Michael Cohen approached her to lie about racist Trump. Here's another one from 2019. The same day as the first one. Candace Owens cleaned low IQ Ted Lieu's clock yesterday. The Democrats didn't know what hit them. Here's more. Here's more from Cat Turd. Cat Turd 2 days ago said nothing, because he's quoting someone that said, what the fuck happened to Candace Owens? Cat Turd says nothing. She's always been a joke. Keyword always. Just like the last one. Never. This time, always. Cat Turd, April 9, 2019. I just posted a small clip of Candace Owens at the hearing today. I don't think I've heard a conservative voice who was in a long time as impressive as this smart, bright young lady. She's an absolute rock star. I love her. 4/9/19, the same day. Raise your hand if you're proud of Candace Owens. What the fuck? What changed? Is it because she's not so fucking pro-Israel anymore, Cat Turd? Or it's because, well, he's not going along 100% with my boy toy, Donald Trump. So, sorry to kind of go on this whole long tangent, but yeah.
All I'll say in response to all of that is at a bare minimum, it proves that they don't actually stand for anything, that they'll just say whatever they think people want to hear in order to get engagement, i.e. grifting. At the most, which is, first of all, that's true anyway. But what's also true is at this moment in time, at this particular juncture, it's been this way for a long time, but at this particular juncture, I mean, they're committing genocide in Gaza. All right. You know what you've missed over the last few days when everyone's been looking at Israel and Iran is these days, Israel now lets the actual aid trucks come into Gaza, and then when people swarm to get the aid, they literally shoot at them with tanks and snipers, killing dozens of people at a go. That's been happening in the last few days. It's just war crime after war crime. So at this point, literally anyone you see in the tank for Israel right now is an enemy. Period. Is an enemy of you, is an enemy of America, is an enemy of humanity. However, whatever resonates with you, they are the enemy. And you should just mute or block all of them. They're literally all human debris, every single one of them. Full stop.
Tucker asking Carl Shanahan, you didn't know it was better to kick off the ball first in overtime of the Super Bowl? There's your 49ers hit of the day.
That's too bad. I mean, you know.
I know.
Why do you do this to yourself? You did that to yourself.
Yeah.
Why?
It's kind of funny because it's like, yeah, both teams get a chance. Like, yeah, you probably want to get it second, because what if the first team only gets a field goal? That's what happened. They got a field goal, and then see, now you're getting me on this thing again. Come on, stop. That was my fault. You're right. I should have done that.
Yeah, you're the one who did this.
Yeah.
I was I was just going to try to find really quick here before we finish. People earlier today, people were talking about the 2026 Madden team rankings came out. Like you know, each team has a double-digit score in Madden. The 49ers got a 92, which was tied for first with the Chiefs, which is weird because the 49ers suck ass. It's also weird that the Chiefs are also tied for that when they also sucked ass.
It's
the Eagles. The Eagles, who just blew the Chiefs out in the Super Bowl, got an 87. You know who's 1 point higher than them at 88? It's the Dallas Cowboys.
Nah.
Why? Where do these numbers even come from?
I feel like because I read something about this and I don't know. I mean, it's obviously it's all hearsay and or whatever, but it's almost like the NFL, because the 49ers have quote unquote the easiest schedule this year. It's like they're basically trying to give the 49ers, it's in Santa Clara, it's in your home stadium. We want you to be in the Super Bowl this year. Like, can you be in the Super Bowl this time? Win or lose, just be in it. Because it'll be good numbers or whatever. And plus, they're like one of the big time franchises or one of the legendary franchises or whatever. I mean, look what's going on with the NBA right now. Oklahoma City Thunder, Indiana Pacers. Those are the two teams right now in the NBA Finals. It's not Boston Celtics, Lakers again. Or
no, thank God. But no.
But you know what I mean? Like, it's not like it's not what's another one? Like Bulls Spurs, something like that. I don't know, some big time team, but then you have Oklahoma City and Indiana, not necessarily big time teams or whatever. It's like if the Super Bowl was between the Jaguars and the Panthers, you think the NFL maybe they would still promote it, but you think behind the scenes like fucking really the Panthers, Carolina and Jacksonville, I mean, it's a shame that it's kind of like that, because you do like kind of seeing small town teams making it to the game, but then
well, they said the same thing about hockey this year. I mean, the Stanley Cup just wrapped up, and they were just today they were talking about how the ratings for the Stanley Cup were down again this year, again being a word in that sentence, and that they were actually lower than the whatever international tournament that's played recently, not the Olympics, but the I forget what it is now because hockey's gay and retarded. But anyway, the Stanley Cup Finals weren't even the highest rated like hockey tournament, in recent months. But who cares? Like, it's not going to be the fucking Red Wings, and whatever, the Stars. It's just it's not. They're shit. And the Florida Panthers are back to back. So, I mean, what are you supposed to do? And same thing in basketball. Like, and also too, the other thing that I would point out is that the actual series themselves have been fantastic. So the Oilers Panthers Stanley Cup was like the first several games were overtime barn burners. And then ultimately just recently finished up with the Panthers winning. But the first several games of that series were like, nail biters. And the same thing, of course, the Pacers in their entire playoff run in the NBA has been one last second Halliburton prayer after another that has somehow advanced them to the NBA Finals. And now, of course, it's going to Game 7. So, I mean, in terms of actual competitiveness, you can say with a straight face, we got the two best teams at the end of the year playing each other, and those two teams are evenly matched because the series is very contested and it's going all the way. Me and Mahari talked about this the other day, is that, even compare that to football, where this past year we had the Eagles and Chiefs, right? And you remember me saying all season long, just anyone but the Chiefs. And I didn't even watch most of the Super Bowl. I didn't even watch the first half because I was like, I don't want the Chiefs to win. So the fact that they're even in the Super Bowl is already too close. I wanted them eliminated long before now so I could just enjoy the game. But of course, the Eagles won easily. But the point I'm making is that if the Super Bowl's over at halftime, that's not a competitive game. It's hard to look back and say, did we really get the two best teams? Really? Yeah. Like, is this the two best teams if one team is up 5 scores, midway through the third quarter? Is this really the best that the NFL has to offer? But the NBA and NHL both had fantastic championships. So if the ratings are down, that just goes to show you how heavily it's weighted by casual viewers and by the biggest fan bases. So like, again, I'm a Cowboys fan. Look, I get it. The Cowboys haven't won a Super Bowl in a long time. They've won 3 in my lifetime, so I can't complain. But it's been a long time. I was a kid.
Yeah.
But with that said, we all know that if the Cowboys were in the Super Bowl, the ratings would be
Oh yeah.
we just know because their fan base. Imagine if the Super Bowl, of course, a Super Bowl that has been played many times. If it's Cowboys Steelers, what happens if the Cowboys and Steelers are in the Super Bowl is stocks.
Yeah.
That's, stocks going up if it's Cowboys Steelers or anything remotely close to that. But yeah, you're right. But so again, it's like, I don't know if I don't like that. I don't like that that's reality, but I'm not so much saying I don't like it that's true, but I'm not saying that it's necessarily a problem that has to be corrected. It's just a reality of the situation, which is like a lot of people watch the Super Bowl who don't really watch football.
Yeah.
Right? Like a lot of people will watch Game 7 of the finals in some other sport, but they don't really watch all season long, or they don't even have a team, right? They're just like, whatever, it's on, I'll watch it. So that's part of it. It's just the casual viewer. And the other part of it is like, let's just face facts. The Tennessee fucking Titans don't have the same number of fans as, the Green Bay Packers, they just don't. That's just a fact of life. And so if the Super Bowl ended up being, you said Jacksonville Jaguars, because that's even worse. If the Super Bowl this year were Jacksonville Jaguars and Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah.
Nobody, I mean, people would still watch it because it was the Super Bowl, but ratings would be down. Sure. But, it doesn't, but that doesn't necessarily mean that there's anything wrong with the game. It just means that's just a demographic reality.
The fan base. Yeah.
If it's Celtics Lakers, the ratings will be through the roof. But that's only for casual viewers. And because those two fan bases are big. But the fan bases of all the other teams are like, fuck you.
Yeah.
I don't want to see that shit.
Yeah.
And so same thing like with me. It's like, look, I'm a Cowboys fan. The Cowboys weren't in the Super Bowl. So I hope both, as you've heard me say many times, I hope both teams playing spiral in, no survivors. That's what I hope happens in the game. But with that said, I'm more likely to watch it if there's a scrappy underdog or a team who's never won one or hasn't won in a long time. You heard me say all year, like, hey, if it's like the Detroit Lions, like if the Super Bowl were the Lions and Bengals, I'd be like, oh, let's go. It's just,
Oh man, I bet when the Niners got in the Super Bowl, you were like, oh, Lions, let's go, whooping that ass. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Yeah.
So like this year's teams, if the Lions hadn't had so many injuries, I would have been all in on Lions Super Bowl. And so like if it had been Lions Chiefs, A, I think the Lions would win, and B, I would hope they'd win, because what a big bummer it would be for the fucking Chiefs to win another one when the Lions.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know you're saying that, but also the 49ers have won a lot of Super Bowls. It's not like they're sitting there at the big goose egg.
Oh yeah, I know.
So that's why my dream scenario. So my number one preference is the Dallas Cowboys win.
Yeah.
My number two preference is the Super Bowl is between two teams that have never won either of them, and it's
Bills,
just like
Vikings.
whoever wins.
Bills Vikings, that'd be cool. They've
Fuck the Bills.
Well, both teams have gone to the Super Bowl multiple times and lost, have never won.
Yeah,
that'd be interesting.
So if I had to pick, I'd say Lions Bengals. If the Bengals won, I'd be happy for them. I think Joe Burrow's great and he would deserve it.
Yeah.
And the Bengals would deserve it, and good for them. And if the Lions won, that would be awesome. They would deserve it. They've been getting better and better. Like they're a good team.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of will they go all the way in this window? Do they have what it takes? We don't know. But if that were the Super Bowl, that would be my second. So let's combine those. If it was Dallas Cowboys versus Cincinnati Bengals, then of course I have to root for the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Sorry, Bengals.
Yeah.
Sorry guys, but
the Browns. I'm sorry.
See, I don't even use the Browns as a hypothetical because we know that won't happen. Like that just It's just, at least the Bengals have Joe Burrow, and they did go to the Super Bowl a few years ago. You know, like
Oh man, I wanted
could-
them to win so bad. I wanted them to win that
I
one
know.
so bad. Fuck the Rams.
I wasn't opposed to Matthew Stafford getting a ring, but I wanted the Bengals to win.
Yeah,
But
man, anyway,
fuck the Rams.
if Iran doesn't surrender in the next 24 hours, I will force them to watch every Cleveland Browns game from start to finish next season. Thank you.
Start Shadur Sanders. Do it, cowards.
How could you imagine?
Start Shadur Sanders. Let's go. Let's do it.
Jeez.
All the way. I'm in. I'm locked in. Shadur Sanders. Let's do it.
Oh yeah, I wanted to share this too because this was this happened recently. Going completely off topic, but a 5.2 magnitude earthquake has just struck central Iran outside of Tehran.
Wow.
And then I like this response.
Yeah.
Can you imagine Chris Christie? Just Chris Christie and Randy Fine, just drop them both there. There you go.
Yeah.
Plop. Perfect.
Dudes like that, when they make contact with the ground, it would explode. Both in terms of the sound and in the substance. It'd be just, yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna admit this. So get prepared. But I've watched videos of people dying. You know, like you literally see people dying on camera. It's crazy, including people jumping out of a building and then hitting the floor. And that sound that makes, whew, it's like a that kind of thing. Chris Christie and Randy Fine, what would happen if that happened to them? Something like that.
There's a lot of fluid in you, and you pop. That's
like
well,
that?
not quite like that.
Not
but
like a bubble.
you know what? I'm doing this.
It's probably a good idea.
It's getting.
Yeah.
I didn't know that we were going to talk about what happens when Chris Christie hits the ground from like 1,000 feet.
Well, as the music's playing, I did want to get your thoughts on. So, you know, like Donald Trump said about Tulsi Gabbard, I think she's wrong about the intelligence on Iran. And then Tulsi Gabbard, or at least the DNI Twitter account comes up with, yeah, we're on the same page. Yeah, we're on the same page. I did see some people who tweeted about that, and they were interesting. So, this music is distracting me. It's like
I love
my
it.
head.
This is my favorite.
Yeah.
This
Not
is
that I
my
don't
favorite.
like it. It's just I'm trying to talk and the music. I'm like,
I
anyway.
know, but that's the thing that it does is that this is my happy time music because I know that the show is come to an end.
Yeah.
It's another successful night. You know, this is when this is the part of the show where I'm telling Dave, you've done it again. Another successful show. And then I would say, Shane, do you have a final thought? And then Shane would say, wow. The answer is I don't think so. Jesus, we're trying to do a fucking program here.
Oh yeah, this is what I was looking for. I'm sorry. So I had two tweets that I wanted to go over or go by you, and just kind of because you saw a lot of people that were talking about Tulsi's been compromised. Oh, you're just flip flopping or whatever. You don't want to get all that stuff. So here's one from Liam McCollum. You know who Liam McCollum is, right? You've heard of that guy.
I think he follows me on Twitter, yeah.
Yeah. He said, The key part of Tulsi's response below is, if they decide to finalize the assembly, that is, the Iranians could obtain it within weeks or months if they wanted to. However, she told Congress in March, the IC continues to assess that Iran is not building a nuclear weapon, and Supreme Leader Khamenei has not authorized a nuclear weapon program that he suspended in 2003. But that was before the war. A deal would have prevented them from getting the bomb and allowed inspections. Now they're just more likely to obtain one secretly. Before the war, Iran was not pursuing a bomb, but they had the capability to. A latent nuclear deterrent. Who knows now? That's what he said. And then Bob Murphy. Bob Murphy. This is the testimony that Trump recently said he didn't care about, that he knew better than she did. Of course, the real explanation is that Trump didn't know exactly what his DNI had said about the matter and was just responding to the framing of the reporter. And on paper, one would think the president would be crystal clear on what his DNI's position was, while considering bombing a country for precisely this reason. And to make my point crystal clear, if Tulsi is correct here, and what she testified totally lines up with Trump's tough talk in the last week, then he should have said, what do you mean? My Truth Social post totally lined up with Tulsi's testimony. That's what Bob said. Because Tulsi had basically said, well, you're taking what I'm saying out of context, right? Because the whole, well, we've basically saying that there is no evidence to suggest they're trying to make a nuclear weapon. And then Liam and Bob are kind of saying, well, yeah, there is a lot more context here, so I don't know.
I think you're forgetting a tweet, though.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. You should check out the link right there in the private chat.
Okay. Let's see what we got here. All right. You said, I can't picture Tulsi torturing or raping children in front of Mossad cameras. What other tricks do you think they pulled?
Shouldn't seem like a rapist to me.
Well, if we're on that subject, then what do you think happened? Do you think she's always been like that, or maybe she got new information and I don't know?
I mean, she's definitely sold out because they do already have her on camera hanging out with that Rabbi Shmuley mega pedo guy. So, I mean, she's in those circles.
I'm seeing even the most pro-Israel people being like, the fucking, is Rabbi Shmuley just doing this on purpose to make people more anti-Semitic? I mean, that's what they go to. They think, well, if you don't like Rabbi Shmuley, then clearly you're anti-Semitic. Because, I mean, the guy is like a caricature.
She's absolutely in the tank. It just makes you wonder. It's like, well, then why did she say the things that she said back in like 2019 when she was calling out the Trump admin for saber rattling towards Iran? What changed? I don't know.
Yeah, see, that's the thing.
Maybe changed? She does like them young. Who knows?
What changed? You know, Cat Turd had an opinion, and now all of a sudden, I hate Candace Owens. But before you were praising her. Same thing with Mark Levin. Tucker Carlson's a Carlson. But then there's, I read off tweets of him praising, and I'm sure a lot can happen within those time frame. That's totally fair. But, when was that testimony that Tulsi everyone's been talking about? Was it recent?
That was 3 months ago. That was
3 months ago.
March.
3 months ago, she said that.
Yeah.
And then people are saying, and she's saying that, well, hey, they're just trying to make division. But yeah, it is interesting though that Donald Trump would go, she's wrong.
That's because Donald Trump.
Well, are they never in the same room?
Trump, a president of the United States, doesn't believe his own intelligence apparatus. He only gets his information from Mossad. So, yeah, that's it. That's the answer.
So if Iran were to be wiped off the face of the earth, Well, what happened then?
Well, Iran's a country of 90 million people, as Ted Cruz couldn't articulate.
See, he didn't know because people were criticizing Tucker. Oh, you're just doing a thing that. Remember when Douglas Murray and Dave Smith had their debate, and Douglas Murray's like, "You don't even know what you're talking about. You're not an expert. You should know what you're talking about." And then people are like, "Oh, see, all the people who were supporting Dave are now like, ah, see, Tucker's doing the same thing." Yeah.
Iran's not going to be wiped off the face of the earth. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
I mean, there's 10 Iranians for every Israeli. So, just saying. Now, if Israel got wiped off the face of the earth, then I just can't think of a negative, to be honest with you. It's like you could do that meme of like, it's like the utopian futuristic picture, and it's the world if Israel got wiped off the earth. I mean, but actually though.
Well, I saw a tweet about that where it said, probably the main thing saving us from war with Iran is the fact that it's basically logistically impossible to actually go to war with the country.
Well, I mean, if the U.S. tomorrow, flew over bombers or shot cruise missiles into Tehran, and they decided that this is 100% an existential threat, we must fight with everything we have or die. Like if that was where their minds were, thousands upon thousands upon thousands of U.S. servicemen would be dead that day, because we have dozens of bases with U.S. soldiers in them all around their country within range of their missiles. Well, so it would not be a good idea.
I've seen people say, when you're saying, I'm not dying for Israel, right? You've seen that, and people are like, no one's asking you to. That's the response that I've seen people. No one's asking you to go fight for Israel. So what do you mean?
Israel has been asking the U.S. to fight for Israel for decades, but in particular for this conflict, absolutely, explicitly, word for word, every day for the last several days. Yes, they are. That's, where do you even get that response from? That is exactly what they're doing. Literally.
That's what I've seen. I see it on Twitter where people are saying, well, no one's been asking you to do that. What are you talking about? And it's like, but even like, you can't even comprehend the thought that that's a possibility. Oh, they're going to implement the draft.
Yeah. If they tried to implement the draft, then you actually should just march on DC and start dragging them out of their offices and blowing their brains out.
And you see, because I was thinking about this before we're recording, is that I don't know if it's because this is just recency bias, which it probably is, but the Israel discourse, both pro and anti, it's probably been the craziest that I've seen in a long time. I mean, it's always been there. People are just they're saying pro Israel, and I don't know, I don't really care about Israel, but it's almost like now, and I know that because the whole thing is happening, so I get that, but even before then, even before all this Israel-Iran stuff was going on, there was still the discourse of, are you pro-Israel? Are you anti-Israel? Like, what are you? And people were just saying that all the stuff. Hey, Israel's great. Dave Rubin's in Israel. Hey, this country's great. I don't know what people are talking about. Israel's awesome. But, and then the anti-Israel people, it's just back and forth. So it's just that whole discourse has been through the roof. So that's all I wanted to say about that. What I've been thinking about. Just, man, discourse on this is crazy.
Yeah. Well, I've already said, literally everyone you find shilling for Israel, while they're quite literally committing a genocide, they're the enemy. So just block them all. I mean, there's really just because there's no coming back from it, right? Like, you don't get to change your mind on this one. They're committing genocide. You don't get to change your mind on this one.
Well, yeah,
you don't get to be wrong and then 10 years from now say, "Oops, my bad." No.
Yeah.
You're evil. Full stop.
Like Charlie Kirk is getting criticized from Mark Levin because he's not pro-Israel enough. Like, really? Fucking Charlie Kirk?
And
Really,
he's way
Mark?
too
Come on.
pro-Israel. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, even if you go, so are you pro or anti? I don't really care. What are you, an anti? What? You have to pick a side. You're just like, I don't want to pick a side because I care about what's happening here in America.
Mhm.
Stephen Miller, all he's cared about is immigration. Got to do something about the border. He hasn't fucking said a damn thing about Israel. He's like, I don't give a fuck. Immigration, border. That's I want people out of this country. Oh, and also, if like Israel and Iran and America do actually go to war, and there's refugees, you want all those Iranian refugees to come here?
Mm-hmm.
Conservatives, like, I thought we didn't like that. So I guess where are they going to go? All the people who are being misplaced in Iran, where are they going to go?
Hopefully, they have weapons and they just go to Israel.
They can go to Israel, yeah.
That'd be a
Go
good
to Israel.
place for them to go.
But I could see Ted Cruz being like, "Hey, we're going to welcome all the refugees. You want to come to America? Come over." You know he would say that, Ted.
Oh, of course he would, because he's a leftist. So I mean, obviously he would.
Yeah, exactly. All right,
Shane,
Alan.
the song's already played.
I know. I'm sorry. I couldn't help myself. Sorry. I did have another topic. It was part of the title, but hey, whatever. Mike Lee wants to try and sell federal land. Good luck. Good luck with that. BlackRock is coming to get you. So
yeah,
good luck with that one, Mr. Lee. That's all I gotta say about that.
I like this new camera angle. That was like perfectly framed in there.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Mm-hmm.
Now that your show is back for who knows how long.
Well, so many damn people want us to do an 8th annual live event. That's like, God damn it. Am I on the hook for?
Hey, maybe you can do an It's Too Late, but maybe just don't do it as often. But hey, you know what? I got some videos I'm gonna make instead.
Well, that's kind of what I told people. That's kind of what we've talked about it. We've talked about it. It's fine, but we did a show. We're probably gonna do some more. So just we'll keep it going until next year's live event, and then Alan's gonna jump off a bridge. That's no bungee cord needed.
So if they want to watch
hear the sound that Randy Fine makes,
a big old or a big old splat, right?
Well, like if you've ever heard like a watermelon being dropped, it's not too dissimilar. If it's
like watching a Gallagher show,
yeah, it's pretty much the same.
Yeah. Well, okay, so for those who want to watch the remaining episodes of It's Too Late with Alan Mosley, where can they go to find that?
You can go to Twitter, Rumble, Twitch, YouTube, whatever. You just go to @AlanMosley TV right there, @AlanMosley TV. New episodes of It's Too Late, occasionally Wednesday nights at 9:00 Eastern time. Also, we're on your favorite podcasting platform of choice, thanks to Spotify. It's Too Late with Alan Mosley.
And like I said at the beginning of the show, hiatus. We will be back sometime after this. I'm not sure exactly when, but we'll see. Hopefully not too long. But probably by 2030, we'll do this again. So, Alan, thanks again.
You can reduce the problem by 1 if you just simply kill yourself on the spot.
That wasn't directed at you. It was more.
Okay, bye everybody. We'll see you soon.